Ones, tens, hundred. Thousand, 10,000, 100,000. All right. Million, 10 million, 100 million. Billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. What's next after billion? Oh my God. Trillion. 2 trillion kill points. Imagine you're going against an alliance that has 2 trillion kill points. Okay, maybe you're saying, okay, this is 1960. All right, cool. What about GV77? 1 trillion kill points. And look at 1V, which is our teammate in here, 1034, at less than 1 trillion. Now, if we look into our teams right now, let's go and take a look into this map. All right, we're going against 1960, 2377, and 1671. Now, where is 1671 into the top list in here today? Let's take a look into the alliance kills. 1671, where are you guys? You're actually here. I did not realize this. Oh, so we're relatively close in here. But the thing is, there is another 1671 in here in the rank 12. So, therefore, making their tally in here for the KP, looking into the picture in here, they are at 1.3 trillion in here. So that is absolutely insane. So the 1960 at 2 trillion, and then 2377 at 1 trillion. Right now at for us is 830 billion. I don't know why they still kept the B over there. They could have just changed it into trillion. Like, man, it is trillion. That's crazy. Actually, when we're looking into the alliances in here, right, you can just see, so 2377, let's see, where is the next 2377? Right here. Here's another 2377 alliance. I don't think I saw anyone in here anymore. I don't know how accurate that diagram that we just saw. So, I mean, how do you feel about going against people like this? Is 2 alliances in here that are combined at 3 trillion kill points. They've got a lot of funds. For you to kill, you have to have, you're going to get hospitalized as well. Your troops, you got to heal them. You have resources, you have speed ups. To get a lot of KP requires a lot of funds as well in terms of resources and speed ups. So how do you feel if you're going to go against 3 trillion KP alliance? So once we start seeing Kingsland, everything is going to be mixing up in here. Now, I'm not just giving out my own perspective in here as a player in 2891, but I'm talking about as a general consensus in here for everyone within the whole community. So let me know. What do you think about this? So, I mean, this is just absolutely insane. I mean, we know that 60 GT is very powerful. I mean, they have a lot of money. They spend a lot of money into the game. When you spend a lot of money into the game, you are able to achieve certain accolades within the game, and it also gives you status within the game, right? I mean, honestly, the game is heavily surrounded into, how much can you spend, and once you spend a lot, then you can become better. It doesn't really require you. I mean, yes, you do still need to have some skills to become better, but when you have the money in the game, it allows you to become way better than many players, just simply that you are able to spend money into the game. So this is what 1960 is capable of doing as well. I mean, I have no hate on them. I love them. They're a big fan of their contribution and their dedication. But I'm just talking in general in here that the game is revolving into the into the spending in here. So you're always going to see top alliances with the biggest spenders. So I would say, if you combine all the assets of 1960, just in the 60 GT, if you combine all the assets of the players in here, I would probably say that they probably are in the billion, maybe $10 billion, or maybe close to $100 billion if you combine all the assets of these players. I'm just like making some speculation because I'm sure these guys are quite rich in the game. Like, these are not your fake whales. These are your true whales, or true Kraken. Like Kraken. These guys are the Krakens, Megalodon or whatever. This is it. These are not the the blue collar people that try to spend into the game and then they overspend into the game, which I kind of did also during the past times. That's why I don't spend anymore. These are not the blue collar players, right? These are the elite players in here that are spending into the game. They have excess funds, so it is justifiable for them to spend because they have more than enough. One time I'll tell you guys a story in here. I don't know. Many of you guys remember who that squad is. He's one of the biggest Filipino whales in Rise of Kingdoms, and he eventually quit. I don't know why he quit though, but the story is that I've talked to him quite a few times, and he would send me screenshots of his or pictures, not screenshot. He would send me pictures of 5 of his cars, and I forgot what they are, but he has 5 super cars. He'll turn them on as well. I think I've seen the video as well. I'm trying to picture it now. Yeah, I think he sent me some videos. He sent me some pictures as well, and he told me his business as well. He was doing some nutrition stuff, but he was telling me like how he started from the bottom and moving up, and he was telling me that like, man, even with all these money that he has, he was still like not really that not satisfied. Like this is why they spend like money into the game, and I think he spent like 20,000 to 30,000 per KVK. So it was saying like, man, even with all these things I have, I'm so rich. Is like it's not like fulfilling yet, and this is why they go into the game and able to spend in Rise of Kingdom. So this is what we're seeing as well in here, right? So definitely we're seeing, 2 trillion KP is absolutely insane. This huge. We on our alliance we're like 651 billion KP. We're actually not that bad for a young kingdom. We actually have a pretty decent KP for a young kingdom. So that is actually not that bad at all. I mean, if we didn't have any loss on migrants in previous previous thing that happened recently, it would have been we would probably be in a very decent position as well. But let's take a look into the other ones in here. What about 75 kamikaze squad in here, and they have what? Let's see. They have 560 billion. Now, where is the other 75 here? This one, 855 billion. This is where Abu Hind, I think this guy, yeah, and then I think Puddle Cakes is here. Now, this guy, Abu Hind, I want to tell you, if you ever watch this, if you're from 75, Puddle Cakes hold you guys at a high regards. Like, he have said so many great things about you guys as well. So this is something to take note in here for 75. I think this KVK, some people say that we maybe have no chance. I don't think that we don't really have a chance to succeed in this one. So I think we're going to end up having 2 versus 1 against one of the camp. I mean, we do have, total of player base. We should technically have more players, and maybe we can try to suppress them in that term. But I'm not quite so sure, right, how things are going to unfold in here once we start getting into the battlefield. All we can do really as 2891 is to do our best and focus on fighting and still enjoy it. I mean, for my part, I'm just gonna try to, I'll still fight in the open field. I will do, as much as I can, and then I'll try to join rallies and stuff. I'm not trying to break no bank in here. I'm trying to just enjoy and take my pace in here. So it's gonna be very interesting. We're definitely going to see a lot of great fights in this Strife of the 8 KVK. But 2 trillion, KP is, to me, I feel like is just absolutely like insane. The gap is so huge. If this was like in the real world scenario, just think about like all these little Asian countries going against the big dogs. Let's take a look into, just think about like third world countries going against first world country. This is pretty much what we're going to be facing in. I'm saying we're the kind of like the third world countries in here going against the first world countries. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game, right? So if we manage to succeed, I say we're kind of an underdog, and I know people don't like it to say that we're the underdog in here. But technically, when you look into the stats, we are the underdog when it comes to the stats and how much whales that we have as a whole coalition in here in comparison to the coalition that we're going against with. Now, again, it's a video game, could care less of what, at the end of the day, but we're just trying to talk about what we're seeing within the game. I'm sure everyone is amazing player and great people, but moving into this KVK, it will be a bit of a challenge. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but at the same time, I think we're going to try to do the best that we can to perform in this KVK. Looking into the alliance power in here, you can see, that's just absolutely monstrous power from two of the alliance in here on the top, and then huge difference going on to 34. And then, of course, we are on the rank 6 in here at 14 billion power. Yeah, so this is I mean, I don't even know what to say. This is just insane. Looking into individual kills, Ahmad Aziz being the number 1 in here. We've played with him before. And then Arvix in here as well. And then PLA, the Achievers from 34. But you can see 1960, 1960, 1960, 1960. In the top 5, they have already controlled 4 of the position in the top 5 individual kill ranking. So you can just expect that these guys will be one of those players that will consistently continue to play within the game. Now, considering these guys also have pilots, so they can run the game in 24/7 status. So they will consistently play, right? Not necessarily the main player, but they have pilots to run the account at 24/7 status in here. So that is going to be, quite interesting on how things are going to unfold. All they need to do is pretty much just buy the bundles and get the speed ups, and then, people will run the accounts. When we look into the individual power in here, you can see Mr. Hope now from 2377, which they push both of them, right? Pushed 300 points onto the pre-KVK. Mr. Hope and Wild Lion, they're both father and son Russians in here. And then when we move down in here, we got 60 GT. So you can see that, the players that we're going to go against with, let's just take a look into the top 5. They pretty much hold the top powers in here, the team that we're going against with. So you just imagine, the first world countries going against third world country. How does that affect? How does that work? Or maybe if we look into the civilization times, when all the European countries were conquering other smaller nations, who succeeded in that terms. So this is kind of where I kind of see things. But again, this is a game. Anything can change. Let's say people times change and maybe people get busy, then we will be able to succeed. And it depends. At the same time, we've seen 2489 suddenly lost. And they because of the eagerness of the teams and trying to make a push. I don't know if this can apply in here, but I think we can try to apply it here and provide pressure to our opponents and try to succeed within this KVK. I think it's gonna be challenging. I wouldn't say it's gonna be easy. I think it's gonna be challenging, but for the most part, I think many players, I think for my kingdom, are very, very excited to be a part of this, because this is their first big scale, being part of a, global big scale, what's it called? A KVK in Rise of Kingdom. So for many of these players in here, it's a showdown, right? So I'm definitely, rooting for my team in here to succeed as much as we can. But it's going to be challenging. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It's going to come with a price as well. And it depends if you're a spender or a free-to-play. Both will have a price. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time.